Alright, hey guys, it's Marvel CCG back to the video. So Legacy of Destruction is on the way, and with that I'm going to be bringing you guys a Raika deck profile, and this is Raika OGDOADIC. There are different builds as well, so if you guys want to see that, let me know. But otherwise, let's get started here with 3 copies of Raika no Metacube, I think it's pronounced, or Maricube. And the thing about this card is that when it's normal or special summon, you can add up to 2 of your Raika cards with different names that are banished and during your deck to your hand, and then you have to banish a card from your hand. So that does seem like you're only be able to search out 1 card, but the nice thing is that you're going to see in the combo video that you can banish something and then usually get it out later on. Then we have 2 copies of Raika no Yohazu. So this card is great because you can special summon it by placing one of your banished insect, plant, or reptile monsters into the bottom of your deck. So you can see that this works well with this card, and being able to special summon this card is great. And not only that, but when it's used for the link summon of a Raika monster, you could target a level 4 or lower insect, plant, or reptile monster in your grave and special summon it, so it makes it easier to link climb. Then we have 1 copy of Raika no Yoroi Tokage. So this card isn't super powerful, but it is an easy card to special summon out. And not only that, but it's a level 4 monster, so it makes it easier to exceed summon. Then we have 1 copy of the Ogdoabyss, the OGDOADIC Overlord. So if this card is in your grave, you can tribute 3 monsters, special summon this card. And once while this face-up card is on the field, you can send all monsters on the field to the grave, except face-up monsters special summon from the graveyard. So that's fine, you're going to be able to wipe the board. It's relatively easy to get out as well, so that's why it's pretty great to run this, and you can definitely use tokens to get this card out. Just a great little boss monster to have built into the deck. 1 copy of Karus the OGDOADIC Light. So if this card is in your graveyard, you can tribute a monster and special summon it out. So that's pretty easy to get out, and then from there you can special summon a level 4 or lower OGDOADIC monster in your graveyard, so it makes it easier to link climb or exceed. And then we have 1 copy of Zoha the OGDOADIC Boundless. The great thing about this card is that it is another level 4 monster, but you're also able to get it out. It does come at the cost of giving your opponent a draw card, but if you do, then you can actually add an OGDOADIC monster from your deck to your hand, so that could be useful at times. Then we have 1 copy of Reptilian Kodo. The main thing we use this for is that it's a level 4 tuner to get it out, and it makes it easier to go into Reptilian Melusine here, which I'll cover in the extra deck portion of the video. And then here we have Naya, the OGDOADIC Remnant. You can send this card from your hand to the grave to send 1 light reptile monster from your deck to your grave. And similar to Nunu here, that lets you send it from your hand to the grave to send a dark reptile monster from your deck to the grave. So you can see that they're kind of the counterpart. And if this card is normal or special summon, you can add an OGDOADIC spell trap from your deck to the hand. So a good amount of searches that you have with this card. And then we have the 3 copies of Nunu the OGDOADIC Revenant. As I covered, you're going to be able to send a dark reptile monster from your deck to the grave. But not only that, if you control no monsters or you control an OGDOADIC monster, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. And then we have 1 copy of Nightsword Serpent. So if this card is sent to the grave, you're going to be able to special summon it out, which makes it great for the combo where you want to tribute a monster here. For instance, for Karus, we want to tribute this guy in order to get it out and summon out a monster in order to link climb. Then we have 1 copy of Serpentine Princess. So a lot of the link monsters here are going to have the effect of bouncing it back into the deck. And in doing so, you can actually special summon a level 3 or lower monster from the deck to your side of the field. Usually you can go for something like the Kamakiri or maybe the Metacube. It's up to you. And then we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom because just great generic hand trap. 3 copies of Snake Rain. You're going to see this card just does a lot for the deck. It's a Foolish Burial that does insane value as you're able to send 4 reptile monsters from your deck to the grave. And you have a lot of good targets for this, so you can really just do a combo using this card and 1 card of this card, which you'll see in the combo video. Then we have 2 copies of OGDOADIC Water Lily. You can send a reptile monster from your deck to the grave. Then if you have 5 or more reptile monsters with different names in your grave, you can special summon 1 reptile monster from your hand. So again, just another way of pitching something and also getting it out. So it's just a powerful card. 3 copies of Triple Tactic Talents in case your opponent activates a hand trap or you're going second and they activate a negate, then you're going to be able to utilize this. Same thing with Triple Tactic Thrust. Great usability that you can get out of this card. 1 copy of Cloud with the Grave because of hand traps. And then 1 copy of OGDOADIC Daybreak. This card is just powerful as it just gives you a bunch of tokens. And in doing so, it makes it super easy to link climb, as you're going to see again in the combo video. And then 3 copies of the Continuous Raika spell. So this card can either let you add a Raika monster from your deck to your hand and discard a card, or special summon 1 of your Raika monsters that is banished during your hand. And if you have seen, there's a lot of ways to banish things out and really work with it here. Then we have 1 copy of Raika Darin Kubikarimai. So this card lets you target cards your opponent controls up to a number of insect, plant, and reptile link monsters you control with different types and destroy them. So you can get up to 3 destructions out of this card. And not only that, but it grants you protection when it's in the grave. And then we have 1 copy of Sun Avalon Bloom. When this card is activated, if you control a link 4 or higher plant monster when this effect resolves, you can negate the effects of off-face monsters your opponent currently controls. So you're going to be able to negate your opponent's board. And the monster that we're going to be getting out for this is going to be the Sun Avalon Dryatren. So you're going to see in the combo video just how easily you're able to get this card out and how effective it can be. Alright guys, before we go to the extra deck, if you are enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and consider becoming a member because that really helps the channel out and you can also influence the type of content I create. Otherwise, we're going to get started here with one copy of Reptilian Melusine. So like I said, the way you're going to get this card out is by using the Reptilian Codal as your level 4 tuner, and then we have a bunch of level 4 non-tuners that we can use here. And in doing so, we can get a monster that cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And also every time, once per chain, when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can target one face of monster your opponent controls, change its attack to 0. And because it's once per chain, you can do this multiple times, just make sure that their attack always gets to 0, and it makes it a lot more difficult for your opponent to deal with it. Not only that, but if the synchro summon card you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card, you can add a reptile monster from your deck to your hand, so a bit of sociability there. And then we have one copy of Sacred Tree Beast Hyper, so this card is pretty powerful because when your opponent activates a card effect, you can attach one of your cards onto this and then use it as a negate. Two copies of King of the Feral Imps is just a Rhoda for reptiles. One copy of Raika Queen Strena, so this is how you're going to be able to get this card out, by tributing this one. Then we have one copy of the Sun Avalon Dryatren. So this card, if it's link summon, you can add a Sun Avalon spell trap from your deck to your hand. So of course it's going to work really well with Bloom, as I covered, it's pretty powerful. One copy of Bengal Lancer the Resurgent. It's a link 4 that is pretty strong, as during the main phase you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, take damage equal to attack, and if you do take damage you can return it to the hand, so it can give you an ability to really just bounce some things. And then we have one copy of Traptrix Oedipus. So this card is decently powerful just because once returned you can target, and of course we have a decent amount of insect monsters as well that we can get out. And then we have one copy of Echidna. So Echidna is powerful because you're going to want to get this card out when you want to just search something out, and then you can just bounce it back by using your Raika monsters effect. And here are the Raika Link monsters, so just so you know, they have the effect where they can bring themselves back from the grave by bouncing a card on the field back into the deck. So as you can see, that works really well here with Serpentine's Princess. When this face-up card is returned from the field to the deck, you can select and special summon a level 3 or lower monster from the deck to your side of your field. So again, you can just get out whatever you need to. It's very, very strong. And otherwise, they do have unique effects. Dialga is a pretty decent boss monster to get out, as if a monster is special summoned from your opponent's deck and their extra deck, you can destroy 2 monsters in the field. And then here we have the Kusarigami, where if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can activate this effect. Neither player can activate monster effects in the hand for the rest of the turn. It's pretty strong. Raika no Uga here is actually able to banish 2 insects, plants, and or reptile monster from your grave and add a Raika trap from your deck to your hand. So usually you're going to be getting out your Raika Dairen. And then we have one copy of the Raika no Musho, which can let you target a Raika monster in your graveyard and special summon it out, so it makes it easier to just link climb. So in the side deck here are cards for you to consider. So this is the other OGDOADIC boss monster. It's powerful, but it's going to lock you into reptiles, so just keep that in mind. Long Fire Blossom, if you want to really lean in on the plant section of the deck. If you think you're using the Raika monsters too much and you just need more of them, then you could definitely consider running an extra copy of each. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure to stay tuned for the combos so you can really see what this deck can do. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.